Well, here we are. A year, just over a year, past the interest rate fleecing of inflation and Fed rate hikes galore. Whew, how's everyone doing out there? Hanging in there? Nah, forget it. What I really want to talk about is how to actually sell your house in this market. Actually, how to sell your house for more in this market. So I don't really care what the situation is. There are a lot of people out there right now who don't want to sell their house at all because they don't want to let go of that super low interest rate that they have. Which means that if selling is in your plan, that should be good, right? Well, right now we're seeing a very bipolar marketplace. Some of the houses are still selling on opening weekend with multiple offers, and then some of the houses are just sitting and sitting and sitting, and nobody's touching them at all. So let's talk about how not to be the ones that are just sitting around, right? So in the mind of a buyer right now, they're having to deal with this 7% interest rate thing. And yeah, even though those aren't as bad as they were back in the 80s when they were in like the teens, well, compared to about 12 months ago, they still do suck. And they also suck when you consider how expensive homes actually are today. So what we are really seeing is that buyers who are qualified and ready to pull the trigger today, when it comes to buying a house, are being really, really extremely picky and selective. And rightfully so. If they're gonna pluck down all of their life savings and take on an interest rate of 7% in this high price market, they want that house to be a dime. And so this is what a seller's house has to be. On a scale of 1 to 10, it needs to be an 11. Look, we are actually, believe it or not, starting to stack up a little bit of inventory right now. We're somewhere in the neighborhood of, depending when you see this video, 2.7 to 3 months of inventory, which is kind of where it was at before the COVID crisis even began. So this is kind of back in 2016, 17, and 18-ish times. So if you are looking to sell and you want to avoid being on the market for 3 to 6 months, you have to be absolutely dialed in. Buyers are comparing your house now to, 5 to 15 other homes that are in competition that could also suit those buyers' needs. And the goal is to win. Coming in second place is still losing.
If you ain't first, you're last. You know what I'm talking about?
So if you've been putting off some general maintenance around the house, guess what? Current buyers out there, they don't want to buy your home's problems or deferred maintenance for 7%. So fix them. They also don't want to, trim your trees, clean your gutters, and touch up the paint either. Okay, next up, the interior. If the goal is to move and you're committed and you are going to sell your house, then go ahead and start packing. Pack it up, right? And clean it up. Hire a professional cleaning service to, come in and do a real deep clean. Now, I'm not saying you have to pack up all of your stuff, but just get rid of, the things that are not essential. Then ask your agent if they know a good stager. Here at the Kromm team, we always recommend sending in our professional stagers to all of the homes that we list. Some of the homes that are vacant and the person has actually moved out require a full stage job. And sometimes they just need a stager to go in and kind of just make little minor adjustments or little edits to the place to really make it shine. I'll tell you what, they have got some stagers and interior designers have some magic that I clearly don't even understand. It's not in my wheelhouse whatsoever. But my point is that as dialed in as kind of the maintenance-y kind of things are with the house, the home and the style and the design of it also has to look amazing on the inside. Remember, the buyers are really picky right now. You gotta blow their socks off. Next thing, and ultimately one of the most important things, even though everything on this list is important, is the price. Pricing a home right now is harder than it's been in years. That's because things are all over the place as far as price goes. Basing the price that you want to sell your house at on comps from 6 months ago or sometimes even 12 months ago, it's just not the most accurate way to do things right now. Things have changed, and many of the sales that have taken place over the last 3 years don't really count in this market. It's weird to say that, but a couple of years ago, it didn't really matter. You weren't able to be picky when you were buying a house. It was like, there's one, throw money at it. There's one, throw money at it. I didn't get that one either. There's one, we got it, yay! And price was just, yeah. And so a lot of times a home would sit right next to another home. This home would sell for a record dollar amount, and then this one would as well. Problem is, one of them was backed up to a road, had a bunch of deferred maintenance, and was infested with something. I don't know. The other one was freshly remodeled and looks absolutely stellar and great on the inside. And even though they're comps because they're in the same neighborhood, are they really equal? No, not even remotely. And so today, like I said, buyers are really picky, so you have to be absolutely dialed in when pricing homes. So again, pricing is super important. You want to make your house seem like a deal. And swallowing that pill is easier for some than it is for others. If a house is maybe worth $750, but you bought it 8 years ago at $300,000, then generally it's easier to swallow a little bit of pride and say, yeah, I know my neighbor sold his house that's a comparable for $800 a year ago, but $750 is still great compared to the $300,000 that I bought it for 8 years ago. On the other hand, if you bought a house for $700,000 2 years ago, selling for $750 after, agent costs and the whole mess of going through the whole process doesn't seem as lucrative as your neighbor who did sell his for $800 a year ago. In fact, a seller might be lured into the thinking that they could also still get $800 for their house. No, this is a trap. Trust me. Again, with some inventory starting to creep back into the marketplace, you have to outshine and outvalue all of the competition. The mindset should be, why the heck should I buy that house for that price when I could buy this house for this price? Again, we're trying to show the value amongst the competition. Finally, how you present and market the property is actually one of the biggest reasons to hire us. Biggest factors when selling your home. So look, we've talked about it before. The power of video marketing is so huge. That and professional photography. For the most part, everyone's using professional photography now, but still there are better photographers than others. There are better videographers than others. Hey, all fun and free information aside, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell real estate in this market, our team and I would love to hear from you. There's a lot that goes into selling real estate right now in this market, and our team firmly has our fingers on the pulse. So call, text, email, DM, smoke signal, reach out, and let's have a conversation about your real estate goals. Thanks so much for tuning in. We hope you got something out of it. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all the things, and we will see you over in the next video. Cheers.